like a thermometer for measuring increased activity and hustle and bustle around the house, it would certainly kick over the traces in this week before Christmas. What with shopping and cooking and tree trimming and being an air raid warden besides, there's certainly lots to be done. But in spite of how busy you are, you still want your home to look its best for the holidays. Have you ever stopped to think how useful wax is at such a time? Truth is, if your floors, furniture, and woodwork have been regularly protected with genuine Johnson's wax, that special holiday cleaning can be done in short order. A quick dusting and polishing, a touch-up with wax where needed, and your rooms are glowing with mellow beauty, ready for the visits of your family and friends. For over 50 years, Johnson's Wax has helped brighten homes at the Christmas season. A couple of nights before Christmas, and all through the house at 79 Wistful Vista, not a creature was stirring, except Fibber McGee and Molly.
McGee, I don't like to seem repetitious, but hadn't you better get your Christmas shopping done?
Oh, Christmas shopping, Christmas shopping, Christmas shopping. Every year the same thing. Makes me sick.
Yes, I know, dearie. We go through this every year.
What do you mean?
You howl and scowl, and the day before Christmas, the spirit hits you like a baseball bat. And you do everything but grow a beard and climb down chimneys.
Oh, gee whiz. Christmas is getting too commercial. It's getting so...
Sure. We ought to have rubber stamps made for this whole conversation.
What you mean again?
Well, every year you say Christmas is getting too commercial, and every year I have to scold you for spending too much.
Oh, me? I just spend what I have to get by, that's all. I go along with the mob. There ain't any beautiful Yuletide thoughts with me, baby.
Oh, go on.
No tinsel snow gets in my eyes. If I spend any dough, it's just because it's the easiest way out.
Now, listen, McGee, you're a fraud. You're a phony. Why, you're so scared somebody will find out you're sentimental, you act like a dead end kid.
Sentimental, my clavicle. The whole thing is a lot of tapioca. I wouldn't give a half-hearted hoot and happy sack if I never saw it. What you got there?
This is the mail that came this morning. It's mostly just Christmas cards.
Let me see them.
You wouldn't be interested. They're just the same old Christmas malarkey.
What do you mean, malarkey? Don't you realize people have gone to a lot of time and trouble to... Was there any other mail?
Just a couple of bills. Incidentally, what's this item on the Bonton bill for one mama doll, $8.50?
Mama doll?
Now, listen, don't try to look so innocent. Not that I mind your playing with dolls, if they're made out of plaster. But you certainly didn't buy this one for me, did you?
No, I bought that for the little girl across the street.
Oh, I think that's very sweet.
It was not sweet. I'm giving it to the little pest as a bribe to stay out of my life.
Oh. It's strange how much she annoys you, isn't it?
I never saw such a little nuisance. Always butting in where she ain't wanted.
I know. You hate her so much that last year you gave her a $2 Valentine. You gave her a white rabbit for Easter.
Well,
Took her to the circus twice. Spent 3 days fixing her tricycle, and you did card tricks through her bedroom window when she had the mumps.
Well, that don't mean I like her, does it?
Doesn't it?
No. That was an old Valentine that had been kicking around here for years. I gave her that rabbit because I thought it would annoy her old man. I fixed her tricycle so she could go someplace else besides around here. And I took her to the circus because they always give kids better seats than they do grown-ups, and I was taking advantage of her helpless condition to practice my card tricks. And she never caught on. Well, I was doing it all for her.
Come off it, dear. You're not fooling anybody.
I ain't trying to fool anybody. All I'm saying is that Christmas has lost its meaning. It's got so people don't...
Come in.
Hello, Bob. Hiya, Skimp. Well, if it ain't Billy Mills, the poor man's Toscanini.
Hello, Mr. Mills.
Come on in, will you, my boy? Hang your hat on a hickory limb and don't go near the piano. What's confusing with the music, kid?
Just stopped in to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Ah, Merry Christmas, blah. What's merry about? Walk your wedgies off in the slush to find a lot of junk for a few mugs that won't appreciate it. Hanging a ton of gewgaws on a pine tree that looks better in the woods. Scratch your hands all up on a handful of holly to hang in the window so you can stick yourself in the eye with it when you look out to watch the mailman breaking his back with a sack full of silly Christmas cards. Merry Christmas, blah. And a Happy New Year.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mills. The same to you. And don't pay any attention to McGee. You know, he goes through this act every year. He's got those don't wrap up that packet, Christmas is just a racket blues.
Ah, don't worry, Mom. I can read him like a book.
What kind of a book?
He's a mystery. A very novel character.
Fine type, too. One of the lower cases.
Somebody ought to borrow him and not bring him back.
Maybe we could arrange with the Book of the Month Club to offer him as a special treat.
Oh, cut it out. Cut it out. Lay off, will you? Even if the rib was as prime as you think, this is a meatless day.
Ever play the bagpipes, Alfred?
And don't call me Alfred.
Okay, Joe. Ever play the bagpipes?
I don't think he ever did, Mr. Mills. Do you think he could?
Sure. Got a head start. Big bag of wind. All he needs is a flute. Well, gotta be gone. Merry Christmas again.
Well, same to you, Oskaloosa Sousa. What's all the rush?
Oh, I gotta drop in to see my mother-in-law. She's AWOL.
Oh, you mean absent without leave?
No, a welder out of Lockheed.
Isn't he a wonderful band leader, McGee?
Ah, band leader, my clavicle. I think all of them are just a bunch of fakers myself. You ever see a musician looking at the leader? No. They don't know whether he's beating out a march, a polka, a waltz, or just swatting flies.
Well, then what keeps them together?
That check at the end of the week. Confidentially, one of them guys told...
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
Ah, probably somebody else coming in to wish us a Merry Christmas when all they really want to see is if you ever got those new curtains for the dining room.
Well, I didn't, and the same to them. Come in.
Hi, mister.
Uh-oh. Now, this is all I needed today. Sis, why don't you take your little sled and go out on the pond in the park?
Oh, there isn't any ice on it, mister.
Yes, I know.
Hey, don't be like that. You were young once yourself, you know.
Well, I wasn't that young this long.
Be very tactful with him today, little girl. You know, his Christmas spirit is later than usual this year.
Well, doggone it, the whole thing is a very foolish arrangement.
Why, mister?
Why, the idea of having Christmas come right in the middle of the holidays. Right when everybody is their busiest. It's ridiculous.
Look, mister, I got business to see you about.
Oh, yeah?
Do you like to hear children sing Christmas carols?
Oh, sis, there's nothing I love more than to have a little group of childish voices stand outside my window and blast their melodious little brains. Particularly if I ain't home that night.
Oh, gee, mister, I got my whole gang outside, and they're awful anxious to sing you a Christmas carol, and I told them...
Well, I don't like to hear Christmas carols butchered by a bunch of kids. How can anybody sing good standing hip deep in a snowdrift with a muffler over their face, wondering how many fingers and toes they'll have left when they get home, if they ever do?
Oh, maybe you're still mad on account of last year. Are you, mister? Are you?
No, I'm not. That has nothing to do with it.
What's this? What happened last year that I don't know about?
Oh, nothing. She's...
Well, us kids were going around singing Christmas carols.
Now, never mind, sis. That's ancient
And
history.
Mr. McGee came out...
Never mind now, never mind. Give the kid a cookie, Molly. I imagine she's kind of hungry. Hey, sis?
Oh, gee, thanks, mister. Anyway, Mr. McGee came out while we were...
Sis, I told you nobody was interested. Now, let's just drop the whole subject. What kind of a cookie you want?
Any kind, thanks. And a glass of milk.
Well, I'll see if I can...
Now, listen, what happened with the Christmas carols, dear?
And Mr. McGee came running out of the house.
Now, you cut that out, sis.
And he wanted to sing with us, only when we heard him sing, we didn't want him to, and he followed us all over town. And, gee, we couldn't get rid of him, and he kept trying to sing, and people threw things at us, and all it was awful. slipper on Cinderella's foot. It fit just dandy. And he said, gee, kid, you're cute. How'd you like to be a princess? And she said, oh, boy, and write testimonials for cold cream. And they got married and lived happy ever after. You want to hear another one, Mr. Once Upon a Time?
No. That's enough, sis. Thanks anyway. You told me at least 14 of them.
Are you sure you don't want to hear any more?
I'm positive, sis.
Okay, then get off my lap.
Well, heavenly days, McGee. What are you trying to do, crush the child?
No, she wanted to pretend I was her little boy and tell me some stories. Now I know why they call them Grimm's fairy tales. That's the grimmest half hour I ever spent in my life.
Oh, gee, I thought it was fun.
No, you did. Well, personally, I'd rather lie down with a good book under my head and go to sleep.
Can't you two think of any more games to play?
I bet you I know how to be fun, I bet you.
What, sis?
Well, I could bring my little playmates in and we could sing you some Christmas carols. They must be pretty cool out there.
I don't want to hear any Christmas carols. Christmas carols are beautiful music. And to hear your little mob of half-pint hepcats slaughter them would ruin my day. The very thought of those kindergarten contraltos drives me to drink. Get me some root beer, will you, Molly?
Yeah, me too. Hey, mister, let's play short, shall we?
How do you play that?
Well, first you give me, maybe about $3 and change, huh?
Give you $3? Hey, what is this? First you eat 2 dozen cookies and then you want to borrow $3. You trying to put the bite on the hand that feeds you?
Oh, gee, it's lots of fun, mister. First we post a lot of ceilings.
I don't want to buy a ceiling. We got one.
This is different, mister. Us storekeepers have got to post ceiling prices so people won't have to pay too much for stuff, and it keeps the cost of living down a reasonable level, and the prices won't go pig wild.
Hog wild.
You know your own habits best, mister. Anyway, we gotta keep prices from getting out of hand for the merchandise that's getting scarce, so after the war we won't have inflation, you see.
Hey, aren't you getting a little out of your depth, sis? What do you know about economics?
Oh, my daddy told me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we had a little heart-to-heart talk last night, you know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he said I'm at the age where I ought to know certain things.
Oh, I see.
Like not paying 10 cents for a lollipop that's worth only 5 because then I'm bidding against somebody that can only pay 5 cents for a lollipop. Besides, spend an extra nickel, it ought to go toward a war bond, which will help pay for the war and give me a nest chicken afterwards.
You mean an nest egg?
By that time, it'll be a chicken.
Well, be that as it may or may not be or not, sis, we won't play store. I got a better game.
What, mister?
Scoopy. Did you ever play Scoopy?
What on earth is Scoopy?
Oh, it's a wonderful game.
How do we play it, mister?
Well, it's like this. You run home, hide in the closet, and put your hands over your eyes and count up to 79 million.
Oh, and then what?
Now, by that time, we'll both be so old we'll have forgotten what we started out to play. Which is the object of the whole game. Now, I'll get your hat and coat, and you...
Hello, folks. Merry Christmas. Oh, hello, little girl.
Hi, Mr. Wilcox. Hi, what is it?
I haven't got time to stop and talk. Just wanted to leave this little Christmas gift for Mama.
Well, heavenly days, Mr. Wilcox. You shouldn't have done.
Oh, it isn't very much. And don't open it before Christmas. But I think it's something you'll like.
I got one for you, too, Junior, but it ain't wrapped up yet.
Oh, that's okay, pal, anytime. Remember, Molly, don't open that package before Christmas because I want you to be surprised.
I promise, Mr. Wilcox. My, it's wrapped beautifully.
I wrapped it myself, especially for you.
Shake it, Molly, and see if it rattles.
I bet you that wouldn't be fair, I bet.
Of course it wouldn't. I want it to be a surprise. You just put it away till Christmas.
Oh, I think I'm going to love it, Mr. Wilcox.
I know you'll love it because millions of other housewives do because it's so easy to apply and shines as it dries. Your beautiful mirror-like polish in 20 minutes or less and saves hours of housework. To say nothing of eliminating old-fashioned floor scrubbing. And boy, what it does for the looks of your kitchen linoleum is amazing. But I won't say any more. I might give you a hint. Merry Christmas, all of you.
Hey, sis, ain't it about time your mother ought to be worrying about why you don't come home?
No.
Huh? Look, I've been very patient with you today. Now, why don't you do something for me?
Okay, mister.
Fine. Now, come back maybe tomorrow, and I'll have a surprise for you.
I got a surprise for you, too, mister. I got some little friends outside are witnessing your Christmas.
Doggone it! How many times I got to tell you I don't like kids singing Christmas carols? I don't want to hear it.
I'll get it, dearie.
Well, if it's this little girl's mother, Molly, tell her yes. She'll be right home, I hope.
79 Wistful Vista, Molly McGee speaking. Long distance. Yes, I'll hold the phone. Yes, Oh, is that you, Myrtle?
fair.
How's every little thing, Myrtle?
Well, what's
It's his, huh? Oh, Myrtle? Your brother?
I hope it ain't funny.
Went fishing through the ice, huh? Well, isn't he the lucky one?
What'd he get, Molly?
The cherry out of his planter's punch. What'd you say, Myrtle? Yes, I'm ready. Hello? Well, for goodness sake, you're the last person in the world. What? Yes, he's fine.
Who?
Oh, yes, indeed. We'd love to see you. Yes, do. And plan on having dinner with us.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, we'll be delighted. Well, thanks for calling, and we'll be expecting you next week. Goodbye, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Gildersleeve?
I bet you I remember him, I bet you. He's the man who always laughs with his stomach.
Yeah. Speaking in the vernacular, we call that a belly.
McGee. Never mind. Mr. Gildersleeve says he's coming to visit us next week, and he'll be here for dinner.
Boy, ain't it wonderful and strange what some guys will do to get the extra pat of butter these days. But I'll be kind of glad to see the old blimp at that.
Oh, dear. Come in.
Oh, gee, it's Mrs. Uppington. Hi, Miss Uppington.
Hello, little girl. And good afternoon, Mrs. McGee. And Mr. McGee.
Hello, Abigail.
Hi, Uppy. Won't you wiggle out of the minx and drape the frame on an orange crate for a spell?
Oh, thank you, no, Mr. McGee. I just dropped by to wish you both a very, very Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you, Abigail. The same to you. And take that sour look off your face, McGee.
Well, doggone it,
I
I
guess he doesn't like Christmas very much, Miss Uppington.
Well, is it my fault that Christmas ain't what it used to be? It's too commercial. My gosh.
Oh, McGee. He doesn't mean a word of it, Abigail. He's just an old softy who's afraid somebody will find out about it.
I never know such a
You
thing.
are too, I bet you. You gave me $10 on account there's some little orphans in school who won't have any
You
Christmas.
keep out of this, sis.
Okay.
You don't have to hurry away, do you, Abigail? I was just going to make a pot of tea.
Oh, no, I can't stay, my dear. You know, I still have 2 days' work as Santa Claus at 14th and Oak Street. Oh, now, it's been such fun, really. Quite an experience.
That costume and the beard really fooled me, Uppy.
Oh, they really do, Mr. McGee. I've been a Santa Claus for 2 weeks now, and I've been given 23 cigars, 7 hot tips on the races, and business cards from 2 coffee leggers. Oh, it's been a rich experience. I feel younger every day. And as Mr. McGee will probably say after I leave, no one can stand it better than I. Oh, Merry Christmas, all.
Are you really going to say that, Miss?
No, she might have given me a handful of them cigars people have been giving
Oh,
her.
McGee, there's plenty of cigars in your humidor.
Okay, but if she wasn't so stingy, she might have...
Say, why won't he let me and my friends sing a Christmas carol? Why won't he, Miss McGee?
Well, frankly, dearie, he'd love it. But he knows himself too well. When he hears those Christmas songs, he goes all mushy inside. Now, look, you pretend he's hurt your feelings and make believe you're going home.
Hey, I hope somebody gives me a box of cigars for Christmas because I only... Hey, what goes on here? What are you two whispering about?
She says I better go home, mister.
Huh?
She says you're mad at me because I want to have the kids sing a Christmas carol for me.
Oh, now, I ain't mad exactly, sis.
I
I
bet
just...
you are, I bet you. And gee, the kids have been out there in that cold all afternoon on account of
Now, none of that, sis. Now, cut it out. The only reason I didn't want him to sing is well, gee whiz.
Oh, it's okay, mister. I know how you feel. Thanks for the cookies and thanks.
Hey, don't rush away like this, sis. My gosh. I'll listen to your old Christmas carol if it means that much. I just got...
No, you don't like them.
I do too like them. I only
You
thought...
don't either like them.
I do too.
You don't.
I do so.
No.
Yes.
No.
Now, look, sis. Here. Take my handkerchief and wipe
Thank
your
you.
nose.
Thanks.
Now bring in your half-pint glee club and let them do their worst, which I imagine is pretty bad.
Oh, they're not bad. They're wonderful.
Okay, so they're terrific. Bring them in.
Hi. Hey, Kenny. Ratty, Johnny, buddy, come on in.
My. Well, what handsome little fellas. Hello, boy.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. What you gonna give us, kid?
The night before Christmas, and gee, we rehearsed it like 60. Are you ready, kid?
No, I'm ready. No, wait a minute. Hey, Molly.
What's the matter, McGee?
Here. Take my money and my watch. You know me. Every time I hear these things, I want to give away everything I own.
I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, threw open the sash. Then, what to my wondering, I should appear but a miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer. With a little old driver so lively and quick that I knew right away that it must be St. Nick. All bundled in fur from his head to his foot, old Santa was covered with ashes and soot. I drew in my head and was turning around, when down the chimney he came with a
His eyes, how they twinkle. His dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses. His nose like a cherry. His dry little mouth was drawn up like a bow. And the beard on his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a little old pipe he held tight in his teeth, and smoke went around and around and around his head like a wreath. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf. That a laugh when I saw him in spite of myself. He had a broad face, ho, 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 and a little round belly, ho, 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 that shook when he laughed, ho, 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 like a bowl full of jelly. Ho, ho, he gave me a wink of his eye, and a twist of his head. A chuckle and a smile I knew all the while I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings,
Oh, boy.
and turned with a jerk, and laying a finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the town of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to all, and to all, good night after Christmas, hello to the house. Not a creature is stirring, not even the mouse. The presents are scattered and broken, I fear, and St. Nicholas won't come again for a year. The children are nestled all warm in their wee little beds. While memories of sugar plums dance in their wee little heads. Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap are settled at last for a
Sugar plums.
Ladies and gentlemen, even while we wish you a Merry Christmas, we can't help thinking that in many parts of the world, the spirit of goodwill towards men has been made a shame and a mockery. But there'll be other Christmases. And to our men in uniform all over the world, we send our prayers and our thanks for what they are doing to restore faith and decency to our world. To them we say thank you and God bless you.
And we hope and pray that when next Christmas comes, there will really be peace on earth.
Good night.
Good night, all.
3 more years. And at the end of our September, because we're still trying to recover. Can't book a train for the next.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by Billy Mills Orchestra and the King's Men. The show opens with Sing My Heart. Same old problem that hits us about this time every year, trying to remember to write 1943 instead of 42. May I suggest one easy way to help you remember? Take a pencil and paper and write this sentence down 10 times. This year, 1943, I will take better care of the things I have. Now, if you want to make the sentence complete, you can add with genuine Johnson's Wax. It's true, if you'll wax your floors, furniture, and woodwork regularly during 1943, you will be giving them real protection against wear and dirt at almost negligible cost. And you'll be saving yourself many hours of work, besides adding to the beauty and cleanliness of your home. Housekeeping authorities call this protective housekeeping. And remember, there are 100 extra labor-saving uses for Johnson's Wax in your home. Windowsills, leather goods, lampshades, Venetian blinds, and many others. Tonight we offer you a rare piece of Americana, a picture of a plain American citizen too full of his wife's good dinner to squawk about the new taxes. Too contented with his Christmas cigar to criticize MacArthur and Eisenhower. Too comfortable in his slippers and shirt sleeves to gripe about rationing. And just too satisfied with his own status quo to worry about anything at all. So, before this beautiful scene fades, quick like a bunny rabbit, let's join Fibber McGee and Molly.
Ah, Molly, that was really a dinner you dished up tonight. I don't know how you can be so beautiful and be such a good cook, too.
Stop it, McGee. That was a very ordinary dinner.
That was the finest feed I've flung a fang into in many a moon, baby. And for another thing, this is the best cigar I ever smoked.
Where did you get it?
Got it for Christmas. Got a whole box of them.
From who?
Cousin Waldorf. Found it in the mailbox.
Who on earth is Cousin Waldorf? I never heard of him.
You didn't? Gee, I thought he must be a cousin of yours. I never heard of him either.
Well, who was it addressed to?
Well, the tag just says, "To Stinky from Cousin Waldorf." I naturally thought it was for me.
Why, Fibber McGee, those were left here by mistake. Neither of us has a Cousin Waldorf.
Well, we have now. Whoever he is, I hereby adopt him. Anybody that can pick out a cigar like this can be a cousin of mine. How do I feel wonderful. Look at the way these slippers fit. Snug in the heel and room enough so as I can wiggle my toes.
Oh, my.
I hope nobody comes in tonight and wants to borrow $1 million because they could have it.
Say, what's in those cigars besides tobacco?
Don't worry, I just feel good.
You certainly do.
Yeah.
And it isn't normal. But while you're in this genial mood, suppose you tell me what you want done with that blue pinstripe suit in the hall closet.
I ain't worn a blue pinstripe suit for years. Must be an old one. Give it to somebody.
Oh, I hate to give it away. It's in wonderful condition.
All old clothes look in wonderful condition till you try and wear them. The moss have probably been using that suit for an aircraft carrier.
Say, there isn't a moth hole in it. It's as good as new, though it looks a little large for you now.
All my clothes are getting too big. Why, I've been cutting down on butter and sugar and walking so much, I'm losing my businessman's bulge.
Well, the world's getting smaller every day, dearie. No reason why you shouldn't lose your little globe.
Oh, I don't... Hey,
What?
you've been talking about buying a new suit?
Yes, but I bought some more bonds instead now. We mustn't buy anything we don't need, you know.
Yeah, but you need a suit. Look, you can have that pinstripe one. You can have it cut down to fit you for $10 or $15.
Oh, no.
And I must have paid at least $47.50 for it when it was new.
I've been with you every time you've bought a suit since we were married, McGee, and $37.50 is your top price.
Oh, I was counting the $10 I always save by walking upstairs.
Say, you remember the last suit you bought, that shark bone herring skin?
You mean shark skin herringbone?
All right. But remember how the man talked you into buying it because a mandolin went with it?
He never talked me into any no such a thing. I had my choice between the mandolin and a Pepper Martin baseball bat.
Well, you should have taken the ball bat. You never got to first base with the mandolin.
I guess I didn't at that. I turned out to be a kind of a falsador.
What's a falsador?
That's a troubadour that went sour. Don't you get it, Molly? Troubadour, falsador? That's a play on words.
It ain't funny, McGee.
It ain't, huh? Wait till I see that skeleton. I paid him $2 for that. Anyway, you take that suit and have it made over for yourself.
No, McGee, I hate to do that. You might want it again,
Oh,
dearie.
forget it, Molly. You deserve it, Molly. You've been a good kid. Now, go ahead. Call up my tailor.
What do you mean, you're tailor? You never had a tailor-made suit in your life.
He's still a tailor, even if he only sets the buttons over, ain't he? Anyway, his sign says tailor. Here, give me the phone.
Oh, now, McGee, you're too impulsive. Let's not...
Impulsive, my clavicle. You deserve the best there is. If I had the time, I'd raise some sheep and clip them and weave you a all-wool suit with my bare hands.
No. You spin enough yarns for the house of Kuppenheimer as it is, dear. Here's the phone, but I still don't
Good
think
argument. Now, you're going to be the best-dressed woman in town if I have to make over all the old clothes I got. Hello, operator. Give me Threadbomb the tailor next door to Mert. Is that you?
Oh, dear.
How's every little thing, Mert? It is, eh? What's say, Mert? Your nephew. Well, he should have known that the Book of the Month Club couldn't do that.
What did he want them to do?
Send him a new A book every 30 days. What's that? Okay, connect. Hello, Thread Bomb. This is Fibber McGee speaking. Hey, do you cut down men's suits for women? Huh? Oh, is that so?
What did he say?
He says he couldn't cut one of mine down for more than 3 women. Now, look, Thread Bomb, how late are you open? Okay, we'll be right over, Thread Bomb. That was Thread Bomb. Come on. Get your hat and coat and the suit, and I'll put my shoes on, and we'll get right over there. Did we ever start to go any place that the doorbell didn't ring?
Oh, it just seems like that, dearie, because if we've already gone, we don't hear it ring. Come in. Hello there, Abigail, darling.
Oh, how do you do, Mrs. McGee? And Mr. McGee?
Well, Uppy, if you ain't a sight.
What?
For sore eyes.
Oh.
Have a chair, Uppy. Take 2. They're so small, and you're so...
McGee. Sit down, Abigail. We're not going out for several minutes yet.
Oh, I won't delay you, my dear. I merely wish to inquire if you had a pair of ice skates I could borrow. With shoes attached, of course.
Ice skates? Well, freeze my lagoon and let me Sonia.
I'm sorry, Abigail. I have some, but I don't know where they are. But I look for them tomorrow.
Oh, thank you so much. I start skating lessons Thursday, and I don't wish to buy skating shoes until I'm sure I shall continue.
What size shoes you wear, Uppy?
Oh, of course, one must allow for heavy wool stockings, you know.
Oh, yes, of course, Abigail. But what size shoe do you wear?
Well, doesn't one wear a larger ice skating shoe than one's ordinary size? I should think that allowing for proper circulation, one should...
What size, Uppy?
My instructor told me to get them as large as possible, so that
Yes, what size?
Because at first, for the unaccustomed exercise...
What size?
11 and a half.
11 and a half. You ever do any skiing before, Uppy?
I am not skiing, Mr. McGee. I am skating.
The size threw him off, Abigail. And I'll call you as soon as I find them.
Oh, what you kidding her along for, Molly? You wear a 5 and a half shoe. How can she squeeze those landing barges of hers?
McGee, Abigail's big feet are no concern of yours. From whom are you taking lessons from, Abigail?
Oh, from the same instructor Mr. McGee had 2 years ago.
Gee, honest, he remember me, Uppy?
Oh, he does indeed, Mr. McGee.
That was a good student.
Yes, he said you were the only skater he ever knew who could make a figure 8 the way you did.
What way was that, Abigail?
Well, Mr. McGee would make a 2 with the left foot, a 5 with the right foot, and a figure 1 20 feet long with his head. And that added up to 8.
I guess I was pretty good at that. When I was a kid back in...
He also said that Mr. McGee must have had muscles of iron.
Oh, my goodness, I never
Because
realized.
otherwise they couldn't have gotten so rusty between lessons.
Oh, that was just...
And furthermore, he said Mr. McGee should take up hockey.
Hockey.
Hockey. Say, you got to be pretty good on skates to play hockey.
He said it would give Mr. McGee a chance to skate and carry a cane at the same time. Oh, goodbye.
this tailor shop, McGee?
Right down the street here, but don't hurry. I want to finish this cigar Cousin Waldorf sent me. I'll bet these cost 2 bits apiece if they cost a nickel.
You know, I still can't think who Cousin Waldorf is. I'm sure he's not on my side of the family.
Well, anybody that sends cigars like this can be on my side. I'm glad I got one.
Excuse me, lady. Hey, buddy, can you spare a $50 for a little liquor?
No, I can't.
And you ought to be ashamed.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why, lady. 50 cents will buy 5 war-saving stamps.
I thought you wanted it for a little liquor.
Oh, that's me kid, brother. He'd rather lick a war-saving stamp than a lollipop. Gee, thanks, mister.
Well, here's the tailor shop, Molly.
Well, I'm glad we're here. This suit box was getting pretty heavy.
Oh, you should have told me. I'd have carried it a little ways for you. Come on.
Happy New Year to both of you, one and all.
Hi, Threadbomb, old man. Remember me, Fibber McGee?
Certainly, McGee. How could I forget an old friend and a customer who still owes me $3.25 for repairing an overcoat in October? So, what could I do for you, please?
Oh, yes, we came here. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Threadbomb. This is my wife, Molly.
How do you do, I'm sure. You know, my husband thinks this old suit could be cut down to fit me.
Well, what could we lose by looking at it? A nice fabric.
How's the material?
Fabric is material, McGee.
I see.
It's a very nice piece goods, Maggie. It's a shame to cutting it up for a mere trifle like $12.50. So let's make it $14.95, huh?
It's $12.50 or nothing.
Who makes anything or nothing? $12.50 it is. McGee, hand me my tape measure, huh? Please.
I don't see any.
Standing in the corner.
That's a yardstick.
So everything is frozen now. Even tape measure. Stand still, please, Mr. McGee. Back a dozen and a half. Shoulder 2 by the hips and drop the armhole for 12-inch hem lapels as is. Only taking 5 inches on the voice. Basting 14. Better make it 15. Okay. Narrow cuff piecing with the best 2-button style. Allow for left shoulder a trifle up. Keep the swing natural shoulder skirt 16 inches. Fill out the collar so it shouldn't do pockets on the side. Can you come in Thursday for a fitting?
What say, bud?
Well, he wants me back Thursday for a fitting. Yes, I can make it, Mr. Threadbomb.
Good. Oh, this was a beautiful suit, Maggie.
Oh, my.
Good tailoring. It's a pleasure to work a fabric like this.
It seems to be. Now, let's see, Wellington, old man. That'll be $12.50 plus the 3 1/4 I owe you. That'll be $15.75. Is that right?
No, 16 1/4.
How's that?
When you pay cash, there's a slight additional charge.
What do you mean, an additional charge? You ought to give a little discount for cash.
Look, cash means no bookkeeping. No bookkeeping means I got nothing to do Saturday night. So Saturday night I go to a moving picture. Who's paying for that? Me.
Listen, now, you make it $16 even and sit in the balcony.
It's a deal. Thursday, Mrs. McGee.
She'll be here, Threadbomb, and do a nice job. The best is none too good for my wife.
Ah, now, McGee.
McGee, I'm building a suit that Lucius Bibi is making at with Google eyes. I'm making a suit that... Excuse me, please. Threadbomb the tailor on pins and needles to order a suit. Who is it, please? Oh, Mr. Adolf Menzu. Just a minute, Mr. Menzu. An old customer. See you Thursday, Mrs. McGee.
Okay, come on, Molly.
My. Did you hear that, McGee? Adolph Manju, the best-dressed man in the movies.
Yeah, and Threadbomb rang that telephone bell with his foot. I saw him step on the button. But don't worry, he's a good tailor. I mind one time he made a suit.
Hello there, folks.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Junior. Have a cigar. And a cigar, what I mean. Got him for Christmas.
Oh, then this isn't one of your usual brand.
And what's the matter with my usual brand?
Oh, nothing. But I imagine if a polecat smoked cigars, those would be the kind he'd give the boys when Mrs. Polecat had a baby.
Oh, yeah? Well, let me tell you, my fine-haired friend.
Oh, now stop it, McGee. I'm getting a new suit, Mr. Wilcox. A beautiful pinstripe. The tailor's making it from one of McGee's old suits.
Well, that's great, Molly. What's he doing with the material left over? Make slip covers for the car?
Go on, Junior. You can't make me mad tonight. I feel too good. Had a fine dinner, been smoking the best cigars ever had, from a cousin Waldorf I never heard of, ordered Molly a new suit, and I hear they're going to ration spinach. Everything is rosy.
You know, you look pretty contented yourself, Mr. Wilcox.
Well, I am, Molly. One of my Johnson Wax customers told me to get out of her house and never come back.
What? You got through out?
Well, no, not exactly. She just said I'd insulted her, is all.
Why, Mr. Wilcox, I never would have thought.
Oh, she was just kidding. She said I'd insulted her intelligence by assuming that she didn't know all the hundreds of uses for Johnson's Wax for floors, furniture, and woodwork. She said she'd been using Johnson's Wax in her house before I was in Rompers. And if any young pup thought he could tell her any use for it she hadn't already discovered, he was mistaken. Because she'd brought up a large, healthy family with her Johnson Wax housekeeping, and she knew there was nothing like it to seal surfaces against dust and dirt and dampness.
She must have threw you out awful slow to tell you all that.
Well, it's a pleasure to be tossed out of a place with an accompaniment like that, pal. But hey, what's this about Fibber's cousin Waldorf?
Well, I don't think he's got one, Mr. Wilcox, and I know I haven't.
Somebody left a box of cigars in our mailbox, Harlow. Says from cousin Waldorf. What was I supposed to do? Scour the town for him? Drag out the throw net?
It's throw out the drag net, McGee.
Well, Waldorf is an unusual name. If I hear of anybody like that, I'll let you know. Well, thanks for the cigar, Fibber.
Fine. Let me know how that cigar smokes, Harlow.
Oh, I never smoke them. I grind them up and put them in my pipe. See you later.
Hey, did you hear that, Molly?
Hear what?
He grinds up cigars and smokes them in his pipe. Why, that's primitive. He ain't civilized. Any guy who'd smoke a two-bit cigar in a pipe would put ketchup on ice cream. Pop it. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going in the drugstore here to get a fashion magazine. I want to get an idea of some accessories to go with my new suit. I'll be right out here.
Okay. She's a good kid. Really thrilled about that new outfit. But she deserves every old suit I got. What's it to me if I...
Hi, mister.
Hi, kid. What's it to me if I... Oh, hi, sis. I didn't realize that was you.
It is, Oliver.
Yeah, hey, ain't it kind of late for you to be out on the street?
No.
Huh?
No, my daddy's in the drugstore and I'm waiting for him.
Oh.
He's getting some cigarette lighters.
Cigarette lighters? Forget to buy a few Christmas presents?
No.
Huh? What's he getting cigarette lighters for?
Oh, gee, he's been buying hundreds of them, mister.
But why?
You won't tell?
I won't breathe a word to a soul, sis.
Promise?
Yeah, give me the inside winchell on this.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, he buys a lot of cigarette lighters, and he has the drugstore man fill them up. And then he gets home, and he takes the cotton out of them, and squeezes the cotton into the gasoline tank in his car. And then he throws the empty cigarette lighters on the scrap pile, see?
Well, that's pretty expensive transportation, sis. He must be paying around $500 a mile.
Oh, no, we don't drive any place, mister. That wouldn't be patriotic.
Well, then why put all that stuff in the gas tank?
Well, gee, every couple of nights my daddy says, well, who wants to go for a little trip? And everybody says, I do. And then...
Now, wait a minute, sis. First you tell me you don't go any place in your car, and then you tell me that every...
Gee, I'm trying to tell you, mister. I'm trying. We don't go anyplace. Our car hasn't even got any wheels on. It's up on wooden blocks.
Well, then how can your father take you for a ride?
He does.
But you just said he did.
I did not.
Why?
No. No. I just said he asked us if we wanted to go for a ride, and we all say yes.
Yeah, and then you... I wish Ellery Queen had come past this corner. Now, look, sis, how can you go for a ride without any wheels on your car?
Well, we all get in, and Daddy starts the engine, and we got a moving picture machine on the front seat, and a screen up on the garage wall. And gee, last week we went to Yellowstone Park, and the week before that we went to South America, and once we went on a trip so long that...
So long what?
So long, mister.
The King's men sing Hitch Old Dobbin to the Shay again.
Hitch old Dobbin to the Shay again. You won't use the car anymore. Old Dobbin remembers in Shady Lane when Mom and Dad went spooning, the led honeymooning. Take Joe down into the shay again. Open the old barn door.
When Grandpa went courting with Grandma tonight, they hitched up old Dobbin
And they did all right. So hit Joe down into the shay again. You won't use the car anymore. You'll have a happy new year if you hit Joe down into the shay again.
You won't use a car anymore.
The old village blacksmith is back again. With super service for us,
He sings the angle chorus.
hit Joe down into the shay again. Open the old barn door.
You gave up your car, so you're doing your part. If she's patriotic, she'll give up her heart.
So hit Joe Dobbin to the shay again. You won't use the car anymore. Hit Joe Dobbin to the shay again. You won't use the car anymore. Put all your old rubber on a leaping Jeep.
And make a hit with Cutie, because you've done your duty.
So hit Joe Dobbin to the shay again. Open the old barn door.
If you want to park her, she whispers, Nanette, you always can tell her you ran out of hay.
Put on your old gray bonnet with the blue ribbons on it, and we'll win a victory in 1943 if you hit Joe Dobbin to the shay.
Well, kids.
Here, dearie. Here's your slippers.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Ah, you're the sweetest man. Give me that suit of yours.
Ah, forget it, baby. Glad to do it. I never liked the pinstripe suit very much myself anyway. Makes me feel like I was in a cage.
Oh, I like them. I can hardly wait to get it from Mr. Threadbomb. You know, it nearly broke my heart to see him rip it to pieces.
Good little tailor, that thread bomb. I had an old checkered vest once, and he put some chamois sleeves into it for me. Made a wonderful sport jacket.
Why didn't you ever wear it?
Can't. It don't fit good. It was a vest I had in my college days, and I've grew a little since then.
Your college days.
Sure. You remember when I was taking that correspondence course in short story writing? In the New York College of Journalism and Electrical Engineering? Used to wear my sport jacket down to the post office and back every day.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
You used to wear your hat turned up in front and smoke a pipe.
Yeah.
Did you ever complete that course?
No, I had to give it up. I couldn't keep the pipe lit. Hey, you know what would look smart with that suit when you get it? I think if you...
Come in.
Telegram for Mr. McGee.
I'll take it, Bud, and here's 35 cents for yourself.
Gee, thanks. Don't forget to give this telegram to Mr. McGee.
This is Mr. McGee, son.
It is. And he give me 35 cents? I guess those other messengers don't know what they're talking about. Thanks, mister.
Say, you better give up smoking those expensive cigars of Cousin Waldorf's, dearie.
Why?
You're getting delusions of grandeur. Who's the telegram from?
Let me see. Oh, it's from Wallace Wimple.
Ah, little Mr. Wimple. I've really missed him around here. What does he say?
He says, we'll be home next week. Miss Sweetie Face terribly. Hope she misses me, too. If she does, her aim isn't what it used to be. Regards, Wallace Wimple. Imagine that, Molly. It'll be nice to see the little twerp again, won't it?
Yes, I hope he's all healed up by now. What were you...
Who's that?
Let me peek. Uh-oh.
Huh?
Uh-oh. It's that Mr. Tolliver, the man who moved in the house down the street.
Wonder what that big blowhard wants. Every time I see that guy, I want to cancel my good neighbor policy.
Heavenly days, he's impatient, isn't he? Come in.
Oh, so there you are, you nasty little chip artist. Thought you could get away with it, didn't you?
What are you talking about, Tolliver? You big noise and a small character?
You know what I'm talking about. You thought it'd never be traced, didn't you? Come on, where is it?
Where is what? And keep your voice down to a bellow, if possible.
Where's my blue pinstripe suit?
Your
blue pinstripe suit?
Yes. My blue pinstripe suit, my tailor left it here by mistake yesterday, and I can prove it. You'll either give it back or pay me $125, McGee.
You don't mean It isn't.
Oh, this is a terrible mistake, Mr. Tolliver. We didn't know. I mean, we thought...
Come on. Where is it? That suit was a Christmas present. And if anything's happened to it, you little insect, I'll pin your ears back with your own teeth.
Now, wait a minute, Tolliver. This is all a misunderstanding. Now, take it easy. Calm yourself. Here, have a cigar. Molly, give Mr. Tolliver a match.
Sure. Here, Mr. Tolliver.
Yeah.
I know you like that cigar. It's a very expensive one. Mr. McGee got them from his cousin Waldo.
I don't care if he got his cousin Waldorf. So that's where my Christmas cigars went. Waldorf is my cousin.
Oh?
Yes, and it was Waldorf who gave me that new pinstripe suit. And you'd better do something. McGee, if that suit isn't over at my house inside of an hour, you'd better get in touch with 6 friends and an organist.
McGee,
Huh?
don't look now, but I think you're going to have a new suit yourself with 2 pairs of Safines.
Haven't you had the experience of going into a home that's so spick and span and orderly that it makes you feel good to be there? Floors and furniture gleaming, woodwork free from smudgy fingerprints, no dust accumulation. You know, it's true that most of us feel more comfortable and happier in a clean, tidy, orderly home. And what's more, we're likely to be healthier there, too, because a clean home is a sanitary one. Where there's less dirt, there's apt to be fewer germs. That's another good reason for using genuine Johnson's wax, paste, liquid, or cream in your housekeeping regularly, because a waxed home is really a clean home.
Don't forget, McGee, we're going to Summerfield next Sunday to visit Mr. Gildersleeve.
I know. You going to wear your new suit?
I think so. Did you pay Mr. Tolliver off?
$125.
Heavenly days. Counting the alterations, that suit is running into a nice figure.
Well, there's a nice figure going into that suit.
Oh, stop it.
Okay, good night.
Good night, Doll.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company. Johnson Wax program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by Billy Mills Orchestra and the King's Men. The show opens with Be Young Again. This time of year, we always receive a number of letters from customers and friends who find out it's a good thing to put wax on their shoes and boots. Why don't you tell everybody, they write, that Johnson's Wax helps to make shoes water and weatherproof, keeps them soft and pliable, and protects the leather. Well, I certainly haven't any objection to passing that good word along, because I use wax on my own shoes, and on my riding boots and saddles, and leather gloves, too, and my luggage. The fact is, I've always been a great booster for using Johnson's Wax on things made of leather. So if any of you think wax is only meant for your floors, furniture, and woodwork, you only know half the wax story. There are 100 extra ways to use Johnson's Wax around your home for the conservation and protection of your things, to make them last longer, look better, and clean more easily. If you were secretary of the Wistful Vista Chamber of Commerce and wanted to appoint somebody to go to the hospital and visit one of the members who was ill, you'd want somebody who was quiet and modest and soothing and thoughtful and tactful and soft-spoken, wouldn't you? Somebody like Fibber McGee of Fibber McGee and Molly.
So when I volunteered to go visit this sick member, there was a dead silence. They were all probably dumbfounded to see a man of my importance taking time for such a kindly act.
Yeah, that must have been it.
Yes.
Who are you going to the hospital to cheer up, in spite of everybody?
Well, oh, my gosh, imagine that. The secretary forgot to tell me. Well, anyway, I got to go down there and cheer him up. Take him some candy and cigarettes and tell him a few funny gags.
Oh, what's the matter with this unknown patient, up till now?
I don't know.
Well, you better find out.
Huh?
You know, if he's got appendicitis, you can't take him candy.
Oh?
And if he's had his tonsils out, he can't smoke. And if his jaw's dislocated, he can't laugh at those funny gags. You see?
Oh, gee, I never thought of that. I better call the secretary right now. Hand me the phone.
Here.
Thanks. Hello, operator. Give me the whistle Vista Chamber of Commerce on the second floor of Merce. Is that you?
No.
How's every little thing, Merce? Busy. What say, Merce? You haven't?
She hasn't what?
Hasn't heard a word from any of her relatives.
Well, thank goodness.
What say, Merce? Oh, except her cousins, she said.
No.
What about your cousin, Merce? He bought what? 1,500 pounds of horse meat.
Heavenly days to eat.
No, he's going to ride it to work and save his tire. What say, Merce? Oh, you got the chamber of commerce. Oh, hello, is this Mr. Powers? This is Fibber McGee speaking, Dick. Yeah. Say, who am I supposed to visit in the hospital and what's the matter with him? Who? Oh, my gosh, I'll get right down there right away, Mr. Powers. Okay, goodbye.
Who is it, dearie?
Billy Mills.
No, what's wrong with him?
I don't know. They said it was nothing serious. I saw him just yesterday, and he looked as good as I do.
As bad as that? I wonder if I hadn't better make him a bowl of soup or something.
No, I might hurt the hospital's feelings. Hey, let's take him that fruitcake Aunt Sarah sent us for Christmas.
Fruitcake for a sick man?
Yeah, well, he's already sick, ain't he? Personally, I can't stand that stuff. And then I'll stop and get him some cigars and some candy and a book of cheap Wahoo comics.
Poor Billy, I certainly hope it's nothing serious.
I probably got a little touch of band leader's bumps.
What on earth are band leaders' bumps?
That's what you get when you play Mr. 5x5 so much somebody socks you with a 2x4. Let's see. What have I got to get? Candy, magazine, cigars?
You know, I don't think Mr. Mills smokes cigars. He smokes cigarettes.
No, it's time he learned to smoke cigars. Why, when I was only 17 years old, I smoked...
Come in.
Hello there, kids. Welcome home.
Well, Mr. Oldtimer, it's nice to see you again.
And what do you mean, welcome home? You're the one that's been away.
I certainly have. I certainly have. Had a wonderful trip, too. Spent 3 weeks in Chicago.
Ah, the old windy city.
How is the old town since we left, old-timer?
Not so windy, Johnny. Not so windy. Go down to a breeze.
Did you go on the train, Mr. Oldtimer?
Sure did, daughter. Wonderful trip. Got to talk to a sergeant just back from the front. Told me all about the war.
Hope he didn't spill any military secrets.
Nope. Too smart for that, Johnny. When he come to a secret, he just says some vegetable instead.
Oh, how do you mean?
Well, sir, daughter, he tells me his troop ship, the SS Rutabaga, left the harbor of Sweet Potato on the lima bean of green peas. Says it was escorted by 3 big golden bantams and a small fleet of turnips with 4-motored onions flying overhead.
Must have been a very nourishing experience.
It was kind of thrilling, Johnny.
Yeah?
He says they arrived at North Succotash about the 14th of Celery and went into action immediately.
Wow.
Says they killed 3,000 cabbages and captured 600 radishes. He says, don't repeat it to anybody, but he got inside information that the war will be over by the squash of April, 1900 and garlic.
They all thought the war was going to be
1900
over
garlic.
almost
Well,
immediately.
we won't breed a word.
That's pretty good, daughter. Well, I gotta be running along now.
What's your hurry, Mr. Oldtimer?
Want to get me a paper and see if there's any answer to my ads, daughter.
You're at what ad?
Put a ad in the paper, Johnny.
Yeah?
Wanted. Woman with pound of butter and a pig to meet man with can of syrup and a frying pan. Object, wheat cakes and sausage. Well...
It's a snail.
Well, here's the hospital, Molly. You got the fruitcake and the candy?
Yes, have you got the magazines and the cigars and the malted milk and the donuts?
Yep. I got him a taffy apple, too, but it looks so good I ate it myself. I got some bubble gum for him instead. With bubble gum, you...
Wait a minute, McGee. Here comes Mrs. Uppington.
Uh-oh. Old Nightmare Nellie, the girl of my dreams. Wonder what she's been doing at the hospital.
Maybe getting an estimate on having her face lifted, dear.
What, again? That mug has been hoisted so many times now, it's all she can do to keep her feet on the ground.
Now, McGee, I don't... Hello there, Abigail, darling. So nice to see you.
How do you do, Mr. McGee? And Miss McGee.
All right, Uppy, congratulations. You got the right spirit.
Right spirit about what, McGee?
Can't you see? She's pulling her shoulders to take all those little minks for a ride.
Very, very amusing, Miss McGee. May I ask your wife a question?
Why, certainly, Abigail. What is it?
Well, tell me, Mrs. McGee, what is the annual yield of corn from one little wiseacre like Mr. McGee?
Well, Abigail, if it was all piled up in one corner of the field, it would be quite a shock. But what are you doing down here at the hospital?
Oh, I came down here to visit my housekeeper, Mrs. Underwood.
What's the matter with her, Uppy?
She strained a ligament in her arm, the poor soul.
Oh, how?
Oh, we had unexpected guests for dinner last evening, and she tried to stretch her filet mignon. Well, I simply must go buy my war bond, thanks to Mr. McGee.
Why thanks to me?
Because every time I see you, Mr. McGee, I think of inflation. And when I think of inflation, I think how important it is that this country maintains financial control during and after this war, which means everyone must buy all the war bonds he possibly can. So please stay out of my sight for the rest of the week. I'm over my budget now. Goodbye, Mrs. McGee.
Goodbye, Abigail. Well, come on, McGee.
I'm glad you didn't tell Uppy about Billy Mills. She could never cheer anybody up. She's a walking lull if I ever saw one. Come on.
So you better ask the nurse at the desk where Mr. Mills is, McGee.
Yeah, look at her giving us the once-over. Why do all hospitals have some eagle eye at the desk that looks at you like you'd come in to blow the joint up? Hey, sis, could you tell us...
Please, be more quiet. All right. But we want to know where we could find Mr. Mills. He's a patient here.
Mills?
That's right.
Well, just a minute, I'll find out.
Hey, Constantine, what room is Mills in? Who? Mills. Room 502. Oh, much obliged, Constantine. What say, Murphy? I get that. Oh, don't mention it.
So Mr. Mills is in room...
Not so loud, please. Excuse me. Wistful Vista Hospital. Miss Murphy speaking. Oh? No, madam, I'm sorry, but Dr. Case is out on the vendor. Dr. Bender is out on the case. Yes, I'll be glad to tell him.
Come on now. Room 502. Don't drop that suitcase. Hey, there ain't any elevator man here.
Not so loud, Mr. And this is one of those elevators you run yourself.
Oh.
Get in and press the button with the 5 on.
Okay. You ready?
Ready.
Here we go. say?
I say it's awful noisy, isn't it?
Better tell me later, Molly. The elevator makes so much noise I can't hear you.
Well, I'm glad that's over.
Me too. Hey, sis, can you tell us where we...
What was it, please?
We're visiting one of the patients, room 502.
Oh, I'm sorry. The patient has just gone to the delivery room.
Delivery room? Is he expecting a package?
The delivery room. Oh, my goodness, there must be some mistake here.
Oh, no, there isn't, madam. And I may tell you, the whole staff is interested in this case. It's going to be twins, at least.
Hey, what? Twins? You mean Billy Mills?
Quiet, please. And who did you say?
Mr. Mills, Billy Mills in 502, the man we came here to see.
Oh, they gave you the wrong card at the desk. We have a Mrs. Millie Bills in 502. You are room 306.
Oh, well, much obliged, sis.
Back in the elevator, McGee.
Okay, don't crowd me now. This malted milk is dripping as it is. The candy all set.
Not so loud, please.
Oh, I thought you were gone.
Press button number 3, dearie.
Okay. Remind me to write to General Eisenhower about that elevator. Imagine a tank that goes straight up and down.
McGee.
Huh?
I'd have sworn I saw Mr. Wilcox go in that third door there.
Ah, you're imagining things. What would he be doing down here on a Tuesday night? Which door was it? This one?
Yes, it says nurses training. You suppose he's got a date with a nurse?
Let's peek and see.
Oh, no, that wouldn't be right, Mickey.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Well, don't be selfish. Let me see, too.
Oh, when you girls go out on a case, always be sure that strict sanitation prevails wherever food is prepared. Be sure the linoleum floors are sparkling and immaculate. This can best be done with Johnson's self-polishing glow coat, which is very easily applied and shines as it dries with no rubbing or bubbing. Glow coat seals surfaces against dust and dirt and dampness, which is very important from a health standpoint. Miss Danieli, please put that gum in the wastebasket. You'll find, girls, that most housekeepers today use Johnson's glow coat, but in those rare cases where...
Old Professor Wilcox, M.D.
M.D.?
Mighty determined to sell his wax one way or another. Well, come on, Molly, before this malted milk goes flat. We won't...
Oh, wait a minute, McGee. Here comes the doctor.
Where? Oh, the guy in the white coat. Hi, Doc.
Good afternoon. You are visitors?
Yes, to see Mr. Mills. How's he getting along?
Splendidly. What was the name again?
Mills. Billy Mills.
Oh, yes. Oh, he's doing very nicely. Isn't he the tall, thin, dark chap?
No. No, Mr. Mills is short and heavy set, and, he's blonde, isn't he, McGee?
I don't remember, and I doubt if Billy does. Anyway, he's the guy in 306, Doc.
Ah, yes, 306. Getting along nicely. Though we don't like to make specific statements in most cases. Everything is relative, you know. Yes, indeed. Things are never what they seem. For instance, there is nothing so permanent as a temporary filling, or as temporary as a permanent wave. Well, if you will excuse me, you will be quiet, won't you?
Yes, we will, Doctor.
Thank you. Goodbye, Miss Mills.
Come on, McGee. I'm tired of carrying these packages.
Well, hello, Mom. Hello, Skip.
Hello, Mr. Mills.
Hi, Billy, old boy, oh boy. We come down to cheer you. Yes. Well, how do you feel? Kind of rocky, eh? Hey, here's some chocolate malted for you and some donuts. Give him a hunk of fruitcake, Molly. Hey, Billy, did you ever hear the one about the guy that... Oh, I almost forgot. Here, have a cigar. Did you ever hear the one... Toss him one of those magazines, Molly. It's a very funny story, Billy, about the fellas. Hey, you like bubble gum? All kinds of fun.
Yes.
Anyway, it seems there was these two fellas, see, Pat and Mike, we'll call them.
McGee.
Huh?
Stop slapping Mr. Mills on the knee.
Oh, that's okay. I won't catch anything. I got my gloves on. Hey, here's a box of candy for you, Billy, old man. Chocolate-covered cherry.
For goodness sakes, McGee, be quiet a minute.
Huh?
This is no way to treat a sick man. Are you very sick, Mr. Mills?
Not sick at all, Mom. Feel swell.
You're not sick? Then what you here for?
Spend a couple of days here every 2 years. Get checked up. Gives me a nice rest, too.
2 days in the hospital when you're not even sick? Don't you get lonesome?
Nope. Anyway, I had a roommate up till this morning.
Too bad he couldn't have stayed.
I know. He'd have been gone even sooner, but he took a turn for the nurse.
donut yourself, Kip. Thanks, I will. Donut, Molly?
No, thank you. So you're not sick at all, Mr. Mills, huh?
Never felt better, Mom.
Mind if I drink this malted milk, Billy?
Help yourself. Eat the candy, too. Oh, I never touch it.
Mr. Mills, now I'll bet you're really sick and you won't tell us.
Honest, Mom.
Stick out your tongue.
There. My gosh, look at it, Molly. It's all black.
Heavenly day.
Oh, it's nothing. My nurse is nearsighted. She took my temperature this morning with her fountain pen.
Have some bubble gum, Billy?
No, thanks. Hey, Mom.
Yes?
Press that button on the wall there, will you?
All right.
Thanks.
What does that do?
That's the signal for the nurse.
Oh, maybe we better leave it.
Yeah.
No. Stay here, Mom. I always press that button when I don't want to be disturbed for an hour or so.
Well, I'm sure glad you ain't sick, Will. Here, have a chocolate-covered cherry.
No thanks, Drip.
Huh?
I said no thanks. They drip.
Oh. I missed a word.
You know, I think he looks wonderful, don't you, McGee? Except that he's kind of drawn around the mouth. Been suffering much pain, Mr. Mills?
I'm not sick, Mom. I feel fine. Just here for a checkup.
People get that look sometimes before they get sick, Molly. You
They
know
do,
that.
huh?
Anyway, that ain't what worried me. What gets me is that twitch in his left temple. See? That's a sure sign of fallen arches.
Is that what makes his lips so blue looking too, dearie?
Absolutely. Though the whites of his eyes looking so yellow, that don't mean anything. That could be a simple case of either jaundice or low metabolism, whatever that's called. I knew a guy once that had metabolism.
McGee.
Huh?
Come on, dearie.
Huh? Where?
Mr. Mills is falling asleep. We better go.
What do you mean we gotta go? After all the trouble we took to come down here and cheer him up? Oh, sure. Hey, Billy, wake up. Where's your man?
McGee, for goodness sake, don't
Look, when I come to a hospital to cheer somebody up, they're going to cheer up and like it, see? Hey, Billy, wake up. Grab his other shoulder, Molly. We'll shake him away. Hey, Billy, really?
What time is it?
Oh, McGee, this is terrible. We should
Snap out of it, Billy. I got some great gags to tell you. Boy, they'll kill you. If he gets drowsy again, Molly, slap him in the puss with a wet towel. Hey, Billy, did you ever hear the one about the knight of the round table who was scared of horses? This is a honey. Well, sir, this knight wouldn't ride a horse, see? So he put a saddle on a big Great Dane dog. He'd ride all over the kingdom on this dog, see? And one night...
The King's Men singing Lullaby of the Herd.
Wimper comes splashing out in the rain just as the knight was climbing back onto the Great Dane, see? And he says, okay, he says, I've changed my mind, he says. I'll give you a room. I wouldn't turn a knight away on a dog like this. Hey, you better finish up this fruitcake, Billy. There's only a little piece of it left. No, thanks.
Heavenly days, have you eaten all that fruitcake, dearie?
No, not all of it. I dropped a little hunk of it in Billy's bed, I guess. Apart with some walnuts and raisins in it, too. You're lucky I didn't drop a chocolate-covered cherry. Hey, where are they?
You ate those too, McGee.
I did? Well, Billy shouldn't be eating such rich stuff like that anyway. Just laying there in bed, no exercise. Hey, Billy, did I ever tell you the one about the guy that was...
What is this, Halloween? Come in.
Well, Mr. Wimple.
Hello, folks. Hello, Mr. Mills.
Hello. I'm glad to see you back, Wimp, old man. Have a nice trip?
Oh, just gorgeous, Mr. McGee. It's a beautiful trip from here to Philadelphia.
Yeah?
I never saw such scenery.
Oh, what was it like, Mr. Wimple?
I never saw it. They had the shades down to the black.
Miss Sweetie Face, Wallace?
Oh, not very much, Mr. Mills. I had a picture with me all the time. The one she sent me when we were corresponding through the matrimonial agency.
Oh, so that's how you met Sweetie Face. Through a bride and bachelor bingo club, eh?
Yes. I sent her my picture, and she sent me her picture.
Oh, was it love at first sight?
It was for her, Mrs. McGee. It took me longer. You see, Sweetie Face sent me her picture on a jigsaw puzzle, so the shock wouldn't be too sudden. There's still a piece missing out of her nose, but off her it looks good.
You glad to see you back, Wallace?
Oh, indeed she was. She grabbed me and almost smothered me.
With kisses?
No, just smothered me. She was mad because I lost one of my shirts in the laundry.
Well, it was nice of you to come down and see Billy on your first day home, Wimp. How'd Sweetie Face ever let you out?
Oh, she didn't want me to go, but I insisted.
Yeah?
So she finally said, all right, go down to the darn old hospital if you must, but let's make it worthwhile. So she broke my arm, see?
Heavenly days. You better go get it looked after.
Oh, it's all right, Mrs. McGee. This is the one she always wears. Last time I had them put a hinge on the bone. Well, goodbye now.
Well, now that we've cheered Billy up, Molly, I guess we better go too, huh? As soon as I finish this last donut.
Well, don't hurry away.
Oh, I think we better.
Did you ring, Mr. Mills?
Yes, but you didn't have to drop everything and run in here, baby. When can I leave?
Right now, if you like. Your reports are all in and everything's fine. Your visitors can either step outside or you can dress behind the screen.
Well, we'll just step outside for a few minutes.
Oh, hey, look at Skip. He's turning purple.
McGee, what's the matter, dearie?
I don't feel good.
Oh, Mr. Mills, get out of that bed. Here, madam, help me get this man up there.
All right.
Oh, take off his shoes.
Oh, never mind my shoes. My feet don't hurt. It's my stomach.
Oh, it looks like a kid indigestion. What's he been eating?
Box of candy, fruit cake, cold milk, 6 donuts, and some bubble gum.
McGee, darling, lie down, dearie. Let Mother loosen your collar. Get a doctor, nurse.
Yes, right away, Mother.
Oh. I told him not to put an egg in that malted.
Now, you just be calm, dearie. The doctor will be here in a minute. What's the matter, Miss Mills?
Hand me the phone, Mom. Thanks. Hello? Operator? Give me the West Chamber of Commerce. Yeah? Oh, is that you, Mert? Never mind that, Mert. Give me the Chamber of Commerce. Hello? Is this you, Mr. Powers? Billy Mills speaking. From the hospital. Mr. McGee is sick down here, and I want you to send somebody down to cheer him up.
Oh, how nice. How nice, Billy.
Yes, Boris Karloff, if you can get him.
The word sabotage has become very familiar to all of us this past year. If I use the expression dirt sabotage, I wonder how many of you ladies would know just what I mean. Well, then I'll explain. During the winter months, dirt is really a problem. It comes into the house at the front and back doors, on shoes, rubbers, and on the feathery feet of that favorite Cocker Spaniel of yours. I know. And there's another dirt spot in winter, around the radiators and especially on windowsills. Now, if that dirt isn't removed, it soon gets all through the house. Not only does damage to the finish of floors and furniture and to rugs and fabrics, but it can be a health menace, too, because dirt favors germs. And so dirt that isn't controlled does cause sabotage. Now, what can you do about it? Well, you all know by now that regular applications of Johnson's Wax, paste, liquid, or cream at those dirt spots on the floors in front of doorways and on windowsills make it much easier to keep them clean, to keep the whole house gleaming and more sanitary.
Well, how do you feel now, McGee?
Much better, thanks. But I guess I shouldn't have eaten all that stuff.
I'm ashamed of it.
Yeah.
Making a pig of yourself.
Yeah.
A great big pig.
Yeah.
And on a meatless day.
Huh? Oh, good night.
Good night, darling.
The characters of Wallace Wimple and the old-timer heard on this program were played by Bill Thompson. This is Harlow Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program has reached you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The Johnson Wax program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber and Molly, written by Tom Quinn, with music by the Kingsmen and Billy Mills Orchestra. We've just received some good news. The National Safety Council has presented the makers of Johnson's Wax with a special wartime award for distinguished service safety. The council is conducting an accident prevention campaign at the request of President Roosevelt to save manpower for war power. Although working under pressure and devoting a good part of their plant to making finishing products that serve the war or war equipment manufacturers, S.C. Johnson & Son have reduced their accident frequency rate this past year by 83 1/3%. The council reports that in the first year of the war, the number of American workers killed by accidents was 6 times as great as the number of Americans killed on all battlefronts. The time lost by industrial accidents in this period could have built 100 aircraft carriers or 23,000 bombing planes. I think you'll agree that every worker, man or woman, in every plant in these United States and Canada should do his level best to be careful, to avoid accidents, to keep well, and to work hard to back up those boys in Guatemala and North Africa. Was the night before Wednesday. And here, as usual, are Fibber McGee and Molly.
So I walks up to the counter and I says to the butcher, I says, give me about a 6-pound roll roast of beef, 2 nice tenderloin steaks, and a pound of bacon. Well, that guy looks at me like I was dreaming out loud. Because just all.
Too bad you didn't sleep long enough, or stay asleep long enough to get those 2 steaks, dear.
I'll try it tonight. While I'm dreaming, you want me to go around by the creamery and get a pound of butter?
Say, McGee.
Huh?
How on earth do you wear the toes of your sock out like this? Look at here. And these are practically new socks.
Oh, I see. I wiggle my toes when I think.
Well, don't be such a deep thinker. Go barefooted. What are you reading there?
Huh? Oh, this? I thought I'd read up on modern weapons and all the new stuff they're using in this war, so I went to the library and got a book.
Oh, what's the name of it?
Tom Swift and his electric rifle. Believe me, the War Department is a dope if they don't sign this guy up. He's terrific. He's got a...
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
Probably a fireman from Berlin looking for a cool place to sit down. Come in.
Well, Abigail Uppington, come in.
Oh, how do you do, my dear? And Mr. McGee?
Hi, Uppy. Hunker down on this homespun hassock and hand your hips a hunk of happiness. I'd offer you this rocking chair, but it ain't been ridden for several days, and it's kind of skittish.
Oh, thank you, Mr. McGee. I can't stay but a few minutes. Mrs. McGee, I wanted you to be the first to know.
Abigail, you're not engaged.
Oh, no.
You ain't married again.
No.
You're not moving.
No, that's not what
I know. You're going to let your hair grow in again. Natural.
No, Please, Mr. McGee.
Oh, that's okay. You look good with gray hair. You know what I always say. Just because there's a little snow on the roof don't mean the fire's gone out in the house. Besides, Uppy, you all... Huh?
Be quiet a minute, dearie. Now, what was it, Abigail?
Oh, my dear, I am about to join the WACS, the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps.
Oh, have you put in your application yet, Abigail?
No, but I believe I meet the basic qualifications.
Oh, I bet you do it that, Uppy. You got more basic qualifications.
McGee! Will you be quiet a minute, dear?
Sure, but I'm just trying to ease the tension. This is a serious moment in a young girl's life. Just before she goes into the Army.
What are the basic qualifications, Abigail?
Well, one must be a citizen of the United States, and I am, and one must submit satisfactory proof of birth.
That always seems awful silly to me. You gotta prove you were born. Where do they think a big gal like you came from? A box of Cracker Jacks? One of these days somebody...
McGee, please. What else do they check, Abigail?
Oh, general health, height, weight.
Quiet, McGee.
Quiet my clavicle. I didn't say anything.
Well, you were going to.
I know, but you moved in too fast.
Then, one must pass a mental alertness test and present 2 character references. Oh, my dear, I'm really thrilled about this. Oh, I do hope you'll go with me when I apply.
Well, I'd love to, Abigail. I've even considered joining myself.
Yeah, Molly. What was that? Oh, no, you don't. You got a home and a husband. You got responsibilities. You know what happens when I eat my own cooking. Oh, no, you don't. You can't do this, Molly. I refuse my permission.
Well, excuse me, but I must be going, Mrs. McGee. I'll call you this afternoon and we'll go down to headquarters together.
Yes, you do that, Abigail. I'll be thrilled to death.
Yeah, so long, Uppy. When they get you handling them army mules, I'll be thinking of you.
Thank you, Mr. McGee. I shall naturally be thinking of you, too. Goodbye.
I'd try to bandy words with her if I were you, McGee.
Why?
She'd chop you like she was trimming a hedge.
She just wants to strut around in a uniform. That's all she wants. Gee whiz.
Now, listen, you stop right there, my fine fellow.
Huh?
I know a little bit about the wax myself, and they're wonderful. Every one of them is releasing a man for frontline duty.
Yes, but my
And
guy...
they don't strut. They work. They rig parachutes, they drive jeeps and peeps, and repair motors and operate radios.
I know, but what
it's
I
the
mean...
only authorized women's organization except the nurses that serves with the Army.
Yes, but what...
And just because the Marines said you were too old, and the Army said you were out of condition, and the Navy said they didn't want you, and the Air Corps just laughed, you needn't think that...
Oh, well, lay off. Now, cut it out, Molly. I wasn't insulting the wax. But them gals that spend $250 for a fancy uniform...
The wax wear government-issue uniform.
Yep. Hey, how do you know so much about this? Oh, look, you ain't seriously thinking... Oh, now, Molly, you can't do this to me. Who'd mend my socks? Who'd make my bed?
Calm yourself, dearie. Come in.
Well, call me a jack, give me a knife, and turn your back if it ain't Horatio K. Boomer.
Hello, Mr. Boomer. Long time no NBC.
Good afternoon, my pretty, and a reluctant recognition to you, rat face. What, to use a vulgar colloquialism, is cooking?
Oh, nothing much, Boomer, you old reprobate. Just talking about Mrs. Uppington joining the wax. You got a nice military wristwatch you can sell her that you found sticking to your fingers in some jewelry store?
Oh, now, McGee.
You wrong me, my boy. I'm not the Horatio K. Boomer you once knew. I'm a reformed character, yes, indeed.
What caused this sudden gush of purity? 6 months in the clink?
Not at all, not at all. Finally saw the error of my ways. Got a job in a defense plant. Came to the conclusion that crime didn't pay. Enough.
A likely story.
Let's see your identification badge, Mr. Boomer.
Why, certainly. Identification badge. Where did I put that badge? Had it right here a minute ago. Now, let me see.
Must be an odd feeling going through your own pockets, eh, Boomer?
Quiet, retread, quiet. Now, let me see. Here's a short length of copper wire, handy to use at length on short coppers. Just for a gag, of course. Here's a small harness buckle. Found that in my porterhouse steak last night. Wonder if they thought I said powder horse. No, that's impossible. Still, why did the waitress tell me to pay my check at the $2 window? Ah, well.
I bet you haven't got any identification badge.
Tiger Lily? My new teeth are bothering me. Had to be an even money wager in any town west of Passaic. But I have it right here somewhere. Now, where's that badge? Let me see. What's this? A letter from my baby sister, Clarissa. Poor child. Now doing time in Kansas City. Victim of her own vanity. Mistook a bloodhound for a wolf. Well, imagine that. No identification badge. Must have dropped it in that dark doorway when I was rolling that lush. Unfortunately, it was somebody else's picture on it. Well, nice to see you, Greenbolt. Hip, hip to you, Pistol Puss.
Molly, let's be sensible about this. Let's talk this over.
Talk what over, dearie?
This thing about you joining the wax. Gee whiz, I know they're wonderful and all that, but think of me. I'm your dependent.
Oh, for goodness sake, stop wringing your hands and be sensible. And don't pace up and down like that. You make me nervous.
I make you nervous. Here I am all alone, full of worn-out socks and eating out of cans. With you over there in Egypt someplace, bouncing all over the geography while I stay here with a star in the window. Wondering how much flour to put in the gravy, which I probably won't even have any gravy on account of I can't get any meat. And
Hello, folks. Hey, what's this I hear about Mrs. Uppington going to join the wax?
Well, she's going to try, Mr. Wilcox. I'm going down with her very shortly to put in her application.
Why, Junior?
Oh, I just wondered. Somebody told me. I think it's great. Good old Abigail in the wax.
Stand by, folks. 5 will get you 10 that here comes the most obvious and corny commercial of the year.
Well, I hope Abigail makes it. It's a great outfit, and she'll be a credit to it. Well, what are you staring at me for, Fibber?
I'm just waiting.
For what?
Oh, just waiting, that's all. So you're in favor of Uppy joining the wax, eh, Junior?
Sure am. She has no dependents. She's intelligent. Probably do a swell job.
In the wax.
Yeah.
Say, what on earth is going on here anyway? This is the silliest dialogue I've heard since we dramatized the Count of Monte Cristo in our barn and the pig got loose. Did you want anything in particular, Mr. Wilcox, aside from telling us about Mrs. Uppington and the wax?
Uh-oh. Here it comes, folks.
Well, yes, I wanted you folks' opinion on something. May I use your phonograph a minute?
Why, certainly, Mr. Wilcox. Roll the rug back, dearie.
Huh?
I imagine Mr. Wilcox wants to show us the new buck and wing or something.
Now, wait a minute. What is this anyway, Harlow?
Well, it's very simple. I've been listening to the radio a lot lately, and I wondered if maybe I'm not in a rut, if our radio advertising doesn't need a little more hoopla. So I made up a few records.
This I shall have to hear.
Yeah, go ahead, Junior. And I don't think you're in a rut. I think you're in the groove. My philosophy has always been...
In a rut. Go ahead, Mr. Wilcox.
All right, wait till I adjust this turntable. Here we go. Now, look, this is the whimsical type of announcement.
Who's there?
I'm dirt. I'm dust. I'm dampness.
Well, I'm Johnson's wife, and I won't let any of you in, so there.
She won't let dirt and dampness in. She keeps old dust outside. Because if you're paused for station identification, these fingerprints on the furniture, they'll wipe right off with Johnson's wax. These are the facts.
Well, I think you got something there, Junior. And I hope it ain't catching you.
But listen to this one. Now, this is the dramatic type, the heartbreaker.
No, George, I simply can't go to the fireman's ball tonight. My housework has simply worn me to shreds. I feel like a cat that something had dragged in.
Lamb chop.
And don't call me lamb chop. This is Meatless Tuesday, and you know it.
Dumpling, you wouldn't be so worn out from housework if you used Johnson's wax on floors, furniture, and woodwork like other good housekeepers do.
Mr. Jones is right. Use Johnson's wax. It's great. It saves time, saves energy, saves work. Get some from your dealer today. That's the dramatic type.
Yeah, that's the dramatic type, all right.
I'll bet those phonograph records aren't turning over half as fast as Edison is. What else you got, Junior?
Well, look, then there's the novelty type, like this. Johnson's wax, Johnson's wax, Johnson's wax, Johnson's wax, Johnson's wax. It's good. Yes, try Johnson's wax, and you'll make the grade as a fine housekeeper, because Johnson's wax seals all wood, painted, and enamel surfaces against dust, dirt, and dampness. So train yourself to try Johnson's wax, Johnson's wax, Johnson's wax, Johnson's wax, Johnson's wax. It's good. Well, folks, what do you think? Yeah, I kind of thought so myself. See you next week. So long, folks.
Well, it was the old college try anyway, McGee.
Yeah, we'll give him an A for effort. He always was.
McGee, look at the time, and I've got to go with that gill down to the wax.
Oh, now look, Molly, I don't mind giving Uncle Sam the best years of my wife, but after all, you got a home to keep.
I won't even have time to change my dress. How does it look, dearie? Don't tell me. I just hope it's all right. Have I got my face on?
Yeah.
It'll have to do. Oh, where's my purse? Oh, here it is. I got it. I won't be long, dear, and I wonder if I need an umbrella. No, I guess I know.
Please, don't rush away like this. After all, when a girl joins the army, she's... Well, at least you could kiss me goodbye.
Why, sure I could, darling. Goodbye.
There goes the best wife a man ever had. Off to the war. And here I am, a lonely old man, sitting by the fires with only an old cat for company. Gosh, I haven't even got a cat. Where can I get a cat? Maybe if I... maybe that's a cat now. Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, little girl. Sit down and be quiet. I'm in a bad mood. My wife is joining the army.
Oh, gee, really? Well, that's peachy. You used to be in the army, didn't you, mister?
Who, me? Yeah, I was in France in the last war, sis.
Did you learn to parley who?
Parley who, sis?
Who?
Me.
You?
Yeah.
You mean you could parley who French, huh?
be such a smart aleck. Once upon a time, a famous author went deep, deep, deep into the forest to write a novel. One day, he fell asleep, and a big hyena came sneaking along and ate the novel.
Is that all?
Yes, it was a novel ep.
Oh, my God.
The King's Men sing, would you rather be a colonel with an eagle on your shoulder than a private with a chicken on your knee?
I overheard a father ask his soldier son, now why don't you advance as other boys have done? You've been a private too long. Now tell me what's wrong. Said the soldier with a twinkle in his eye, here's the reason why. I'd rather be a private than a colonel in the army. A private has more fun when all his daily work is done. And when he goes on hikes, in every town he strikes, girls discover him and they smother him with things he likes. But girlies act so shy when Colonel passes by. He holds his head so high with dignity. So would you rather be a colonel with an eagle on your shoulder than a private with a chicken on your knee? Well, colonels and majors and captains are fine with eagles and feathers and buttons that shine. Corporals and sergeants and lieutenants too, all giving orders for privates to do. I ask you, what good would the colonels and majors and captains and lieutenants be if it weren't for the privates who carry out the orders that will win the victory? So would you rather be a colonel with an eagle on your shoulder than a private with a chicken on your knee? Not me. There's nothing on his sleeve except a girl when he's on leave. And when he goes on hikes, in every town he strikes, the girls discover me and they smother me with things I like. But girlies act so shy when Colonel passes by. He holds his head so high with dignity. So would you rather be a colonel with an eagle on your shoulder or a private with a chicken on your knee?
Yes, ladies. I'm Lieutenant Gordon. Could I help you?
Yes, you could, dearie. My girlfriend here wants to enlist. I'm Mrs. McGee, and her name is Abigail Uppington.
Yes, my name is Abigail Abington. Abigail Abington. Oh, my. Oh, I'm so nervous.
There's no reason to be, Miss Uppington.
Mrs. Uppington, sir. Madam. Oh, how does one address a female lieutenant?
Lieutenant.
Simple, isn't it?
Oh, well, I must confess I'm rather ignorant of the organization, Your Honor. Oh, I am a lieutenant, but I'm a widow. I have no dependents, am in good health, and I am a United States citizen.
Well, those are all desirable qualifications, Mrs. Uppington. Let me explain briefly about the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps. It is a corps of women in military uniform, under military discipline, receiving military pay. We serve officially with the Army. And when we have recruited our necessary 150,000 members, it means that 150,000 men are released for combat duty. Do you speak any foreign languages, Mrs. Uppington?
Why, no, I don't believe
Oh, now, Abigail, you do too. Don't be so much. You talk Pig Latin like everything.
Well, I'm afraid Pig Latin would not be very useful to us, Mrs. McGee. We have very little contact with the German general staff.
Well, what are the physical requirements?
Just general good health, Mrs. Uppington. You don't have to be a perfect physical specimen.
Oh, Abigail, you lucky girl.
Yes. How much is the pay in the West, Lieutenant?
Exactly the same as in the Army, with all living expenses paid. We feel this is a great opportunity for American women. Many of them will develop special skills which will be very useful after the war. Besides which, we feel...
Let me see. It says half a cup of shortening, cup of graduated sugar, 2 eggs separated. Separated from what? Who wrote this dad-ratted cookbook anyway? Colonel Stoutenegel? Now, let's see now. Oh, well, I'll never get this cake baked. Come in.
Hello, Mr. McGee. Hello, Mrs. Oh, where's Mrs. McGee?
Hi, Wimp, old man. Hey, what does TSP stand for?
Tailspin, I think, Mr. McGee.
Tailspin. 1.5 tailspins of salt. That can't be right.
What are you making?
Upside-down cake.
Then maybe tailspin is right.
Hmm?
But maybe you're just putting some software around till you fall on your belly. How long ago was Sweetie Face here, Mr. McGee?
Your wife? She hasn't been here, Wimp.
Really?
No.
Well, my goodness. When I saw the curtains all down and the rugs torn up and the place in such a mess, I thought that Sweetie...
That.
Hey, McGee, where are you? What's happened to this house? Hello, Mr. Wimple.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. I just thought...
Tell me later, what goes on here, McGee? The house is a wreck.
Oh, didn't you join the army?
Why, of course not.
Huh?
I got all the dope on it months ago, and I decided I was responsible. But who wrecked our house, dear?
Well, gee, I thought if I was going to be a grass widow for the duration, I better learn to do things. I started to wash the curtains and clean the rugs and bake a cake. Only I scorched the curtains trying to dry them in the oven. I couldn't get the soap out of the rugs. And what does TSP stand for?
Teaspoon. And give me a kiss, you silly boy.
Oh. Well, what are you looking so pop-eyed about, Wimple?
You mean you can make a mess like this in the house, and when your wife comes home, she kisses you?
Oh, dear. Well, why not, Mr. Wimple? What would your wife do?
Oh, let me take that bowl of batter. Let me take that bowl of batter, Mr. McGee. I might as well be stirring it while I shut it.
Things that are said over and over again sometimes get to be such an old story they lose their original meaning. They are worn smooth from much use. Take the word conservation, for example, and the phrase, take better care of the things you have. Yes, we've heard them often, but we'll hear them many more times before this war is over. Because it is important to take better care of the things we have. It is vital to conserve your resources and our manpower, in little ways, in every way, in every home in the land. And that brings me back for a moment to Johnson's wax, used in millions of homes for the protection and preservation of floors, furniture, and woodwork. The regular use of Johnson's wax saves expensive refinishing. It also saves many hours of work and adds rich, mellow beauty to your home. Johnson's wax is available in 3 forms: paste, liquid, and cream.
Ladies and gentlemen, or rather just ladies, the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps, known as the WAC, really does need 150,000 members. This is the answer to the question lots of you have been asking: what can I do to serve?
Yes, and after seeing some of those snappy-looking women, I think they ought to change the old slogan to join the Army and let the world see you. Good night.
Good night, all.
The characters of Horatio K. Boomer and Wallace Wimple heard on our program were played by Bill Thompson. This is Marlowe Wilcox, speaking with the makers of Johnson Wax Finishes for the home and industry, inviting you all to join us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Chicago WMAQ. The important war message you have been expecting will be broadcast immediately after the Fibber McGee and Molly program. Keep tuned to this station. Here's the Johnson Wax program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Band and Billy Mills Orchestra.
Last week, I was glancing over one of the country's leading newspapers, and I noticed an article called Keeping Your House in Tune with the Times. You know, it made me feel right at home, for this is what I read. Preserving and protecting the surfaces around your house was once the sensible thing for a good housewife to do. Now it's a case of preserve or do without. The situation isn't as bad as it sounds if you take advantage of wax in any of its forms. Wax is not only a great preservative, but it's also a great time saver. For wax surfaces are more easily dusted because the dirt and dust remain on top and don't penetrate the layer of wax. Well, now, doesn't that sound just like H. Wilcox talking about Johnson's wax? I must remember to write them a letter. They've really got the right idea. There comes a tide in the affairs of men when they think they can write a book. Well, the tide is in at 79 Wistful Vista. And here, busily filling page after page of scratch paper, we find that persistent proponent of pithy prose, that fearless perpetrator of punchy paragraphs, Mr. McGee of Fibber McGee and Molly.
So, grasping her in his strong arms, he kissed her tenderly on the forehead as she run her slender fingers through his dark curly hair, which she had first took his hat off so she could. Then, as a knock came at the door...
McGee, I never heard such drivel in my life. What are you reading?
I ain't reading, I'm writing.
You're what?
I'm writing a book.
So that's what you've been doing the last few days.
That's it.
And I thought you were going over the household accounts.
Household accounts my clavicle. Don't you worry about them, Molly. When the dough starts rolling in from this book, we'll have so much money the government won't know what to do with it. Now, let's see. Where was I? Oh, yeah. I was just getting to the place where my heroine, Maisie Laprine, has just met Lieutenant Spragwell.
Just met him?
Yeah.
Last I heard, he was taking her into his strong, curly arms and was kissing her.
Well, it was love at first sight. You see, he was coming down the street on roller skates while she was cleaning the front steps, and she swept him off his feet.
Oh.
I got some cute dialogue there.
I'll bet you have.
But the plot really gets toward a little later on. This is a love story that'll have every woman in America dripping mascara.
Oh, my.
Where's my phone? Oh, here. Running her fingers through his dark curly hair, which she had first took his hat off so she could. Then as a knock come at the door... Boy, is this realistic. Then as a knock come at the door...
Look, Arthur, I hate to disillusion you, but that was a knock at the door.
Well, it's plagiarism, that's what it is. Come in.
For goodness sakes, Abigail Uppington.
How do you do, my dear? I'm Miss McGee.
My dear Mrs. Uppington, what a charming surprise. Do come in. I say, Francois, chill another bottle of sparkling root beer for Madame. Oh, I say, this is jolly, isn't it? When was it we met last? On the French Riviera, was it not? Oh, remember that romantic evening over the gaming tables at Monte Carlo? The night Fifi de Goumenac shot the Duke? How gay. I remember how the stars shone down like a million jewels on the velvet canopy of night.
Let's start over, Miss McGee. I wasn't here when the game started.
Listen, don't mind him, Abigail. He's writing a book and he thinks he's E. Paul of Dippenheim or somebody.
Ah, yes. Fine chap, Dippenheim. I remember one afternoon we were sitting in a gay little cafe in the Latin Quarter. I remember it because I didn't know any Latin and Ippy didn't have a quarter. You know, it's great how those little experiences...
Oh, look, come off your high horse, dearie, before it throws you.
I find this very interesting, Mrs. McGee.
Didn't think I could write a book, eh?
I didn't think you could write, period.
Oh, he's been working like a little beaver, Abigail.
You betcha.
Chew a tree down and build a dam for the lady, little beaver.
Okay, deride. Laugh if you will, my fine feathered friends. But the time will come when you'll point to my picture in magazines and say, I know that man. That's Earl Stanley McGee, the author.
Who?
Earl Stanley McGee. That's my nom de plume.
I think you mean nom de plume, Miss McGee.
I mean nom de plume. I'm going to show the writing business some new wrinkles.
say when you get the manuscript finished, dearie, let me give it to Uncle Dennis.
Oh? Is he acquainted with some publishers, my dear?
Well, I think he is. I've often heard him say he knows every bookmaker in the country.
You know, I suppose, that you should have a literary agent, Miss McGee.
A literary what?
A literary agent. Someone to act as middleman for you, to make good arrangements with some publishing house, to protect your rights. You artistic people are so unbusinesslike, you know.
Oh, yes, I suppose we are. We authors live in a world of dreams, Abigail. We're shy and practical creatures. We should be shielded from the cruder, the harsher aspects of life.
Oh, my. Could you face the crude fact that your fountain pen is dripping on your pants leg?
Huh? Oh. Hey, Uppy, I thought you joined up with the wax. When do you go?
I don't go, Miss McGee. I was declined with thanks.
Oh, that's too bad, Abigail. I'm so sorry.
No, that's a shame, kid. They shouldn't have turned down a big, sensible girl like you. What was wrong?
Mr. McGee, there was a time when I would have approached the answer to that question with some trepidation. I would have evaded a direct reply with all the delicate finesse at my command. But the cold, brutal fact remains that I'm too darn old for the
That was your nom de plume. Earl Stanley McGee.
Oh, yes. Oh, I say, I think I'm coming along rather well, you know. Top hole and all that. Working on a jolly situation at the moment. This lieutenant lad, Tragler, you know. Frightfully decent chap, Oxford and all that.
Oh, listen. Now, first thing I know, you'll start wearing a manacle.
If you mean eyeglass, my dear girl, the word is barnacle.
It's no such a thing. A barnacle is a seashell that sticks to the bottom of a boat.
I thought that was a binnacle.
A binnacle is a collarbone.
That's my clavicle.
Well, then a binnacle is where they keep a ship's compass.
You're thinking of a monocle.
Oh, and what are manacles?
Handcuffs.
That's what I said. You want to be arrested for murder? Well, you're killing me with that English accent.
You answer the phone, will you, Molly? I got Lieutenant Fragwell at the bottom of a 40-foot cistern, and I got to figure a way to get him out.
Well, let his girlfriend hold a big sirloin steak over the edge. I'd jump 40 feet for that myself.
Well, in this case, Polly Newton's the telephone. Hello, Fibber McGee speaking. Who? Oh, yes. This is Stanley McGee, the novelist. How do you do, Miss Cheltenham?
Miss who?
Oh, that would be jolly, of course. I should be happy to discuss the matter. Oh, rather. Yes, I shall carry on till you get here.
You keep carrying on like that, and I'll get the pip myself. Who's Miss doesn't have?
She's an agent, a literary agent. She's going to sell my book. Ain't that wonderful?
How'd she ever hear about you through a Ouija board?
Oh, the word gets about these things. Hey, I gotta get busy. Now, don't let anybody bother me. Lock the door. This may mean millions.
Yeah, but how are you getting Lieutenant Fragwell out of the cistern?
Easy. I just start the next chapter by saying, once safely out of the cistern, Fragwell made his way to the nearest barumba.
What's a barumba?
That's an Abyssinian word meaning railroad.
Do the Abyssinians know that?
They will when they read the book. Now, remember, Molly, I gotta work fast. I ain't home to anybody. If the doorbell bell rings, don't tell them.
I'm afraid Lieutenant Barumba will have to wait for Fragwell for a minute, dearie. Come in.
Hello there, kids. What you doing?
I'm trying to write a book if I can get some peace and quiet around here.
Well, you go right ahead, Johnny. Me and daughter won't let anybody bother you.
Fine.
Wanted to be a storybook writer once myself, but the grammar got me.
Oh.